Stuttering John did allegedly bang Kate Meany this week. So good for John. I guess he did say he would never fuck someone younger than his oldest child. So maybe his kid's getting younger. Maybe in the transitioning process. They also age backwards. Because apparently he was hooking up with Kate Meany. Chad Zumock has someone on the inside that saw this all go down at some New York strip club. John was apparently intoxicated and getting into altercations with workers there. But we're not here to talk about that today. Plenty of other shows are covering that. I'm covering other things that I found interesting about John. And one of them is this song that he produced. I don't know if we're going to listen to all of it. But let's hear John tinker, because you weren't here last week, Craig. Are you aware of his one-man show?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Well, John is in production. You know, he's starting to put together this one-man show, and I think maybe it will be a multimedia sort of event where there's comedy. It's like a variety show. There's comedy, there's drama, and hopefully there's going to be some songs involved because he's tinkering with one on one of his recent drunken podcasts.
Shitway has got big bills to pay. Bills to pay. Okay, that's better. Look at the creep boys, Pinky. Look at the creep boys.
This is like watching McCartney work, you know?
Oh, God. Yeah. There's going to be an 18-hour 3-part series on John making this on Disney Plus.
Hold on, I say, do I call him the shitway or the dues payer? Which flows better? I say shitwayer.
Why not both?
He's a Jew, so I'm going to talk about his money. That's good. All right, John, you're onto something.
Don't even need an end there. Look at the creep boys, Pinky lit. Look at the creep boys, Pinky. Look at the creep boys, like Lady K. Take out Pinky there.
It's like Vanilla Ice trying to explain why Ice Ice Baby is different than Under Pressure. He's like, no. It goes dung 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 da da dung dung, not dung 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 da da dung dung.
No. The real clip is him going at the end. It's dun 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 dun. It's just different.
It's so different.
Yeah.
Creep boys, like, look at the creep boys, like Lady K. Shitway's got big bills to pay. They grift away. As they grift away, look at these pussy boys.
Which is he going to choose?
Look at Lady K. The wood paneling on his wall says he's fucking gay. I'm already writing better songs.
Yeah. I don't like it to be so crass, though. I want the kids to be able to go to the show.
That's true in all ages Broadway show.
Yeah. He's really gay.
Yeah.
Guys, just so they can feed their fat wives and grip away.
I gotta say, the one line that made me laugh is the fat wives thing. It's because it's so unnecessary.
I wasn't expecting it.
John just goes after their wives for no. Also, Jenny Jingles has been on camera many times. I don't believe she's fat.
Nope.
I don't know where it comes from, but
he's an asshole.
oh, well, maybe that's it.
Yeah.
And when double verse, and when double,
I can't crack this case. Damn it! How do I call this shitwayer lazy?
No. And when double verse free, I can't wait for them to lose me.
Ew.
They can't grift off me when I'm not here to use me.
You just rhymed me with me with me.
What rhymes with Cardiff Electric? Come on, John, think.
Mildly pathetic.
That's good. You should be working for him.
I know.
There, we take that out. To use me. Yeah.
Hey, John, how about you get to the drawing board off camera and you come back with a fully formed song, huh? What do you say? We don't need to see how the sausage is made.
To use me. Thanks to you all for supporting me. I know it's hard when they tell you it's wrong.
Ew.
I'll soon be in your city. having a blast, making you laugh.
Laugh.
Look at these creep boys that sell their soul just to make their bank accounts whole and gripped away. Look at these pussy boys.
Are you imagining Craig like I am? The audience standing up and clapping along? Thinking, I wish Uncle Cracker was ever this good.
I'm expecting John to be expecting that, and then the seats to be empty.
In John's mind right now, he is in the round at Madison Square Garden.
Right.
And everyone is going, hey, fuck Lady K, John, we're with you. They're holding their phones up.
So they can feed their big fat wives and gripped away. Now, I'm not.
Remember, I'm the guy that's don't go after family members.
John realized the word grift rhymes with drift. And he said, my God, I've struck gold.
Would you rather a one-man show or like a Weird Al Yankovic type album?
I like to say why not both, Craig? You know,
Okay.
I'm an optimist. I think both are. Here's what I think happens: one man show, then the album gets released from that show.
Right.
You know, then you can listen to the songs. You can also go see the live show.
I would love to see. We're going, right? If he does tour this.
What are you, nuts? Of course.
Yeah. Okay.
You're saying that they have fat wives, of course. It just goes with the comedy of the whole routine.
Oh, that's the excuse.
That was pretty good.
I want the
Yeah,
DVD
so far.
commentary more than anything.
Oh yeah.
Where he's like, you see, you know, I don't want to call their wives fat. That actually feels a little beneath me. But the trouble I came upon was thinking, fat wives just fits so perfectly. Like when I say miserable lives, and I think, what rhymes with that? I need something to match, and even goes beyond miserable lives. What's going to hit them harder? And while it killed me, I just knew fat wives had to be the line. And I
Right.
know you're thinking, John, you don't like to punch below the belt, and I understand that. I think people will understand this isn't the nature of humor. This isn't even about Lady K or the shitway or about at this point. This is about comedy and the nature of its being, you see.
Mm-hmm.
Progress. All right, we'll try this one last time.
All right, let's hit it.
Here we go.
Oh, so another shout out to our boy Doom. Thank you to Doom for cutting out the music of this. So John plays the song Drift Away by Uncle Cracker.
Oh, get him. Get his ass.
But what Doom did is took out the music. So you can only hear John's vocal parts. Now, what's brilliant about this is I reached out to Doom before he posted this to see if he had the clip because John took the episode down. The reason I wanted this clip is Doom has made it sound exactly like it did with the music, the vocal parts, where it's completely, John's voice is entirely getting drowned out by the music. So, listen to this knowing it's not the technology drowning out John's voice. This is how it sounded just with the Uncle Cracker music playing behind him. All Doom has done is isolate John's voice. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is how bad it sounded on John's podcast. Sans musical accompaniment.
Let's see if we can pull this off.
Let's do it, gang. I like that he incorporates us. Like, we're all trying to pull this off.
We're on the same team.
Yeah. Come on, John.
He's trying to hit play on the song.
What is this, intermission?
Okay.
He's waiting for his setup.
Day after day, I'm so amazed.
All right.
Just how dumb the double box is.
I just want to wait for the part where his voice completely
All
gets drowned out.
here to get losers to pay.
I'm guessing it's the chorus.
But all they do is lie. We laugh and sigh.
Yep.
So the music takes over and you can't hear anything he's saying. So it's much like Alec Baldwin's eulogy, where it's like,
Francisco Sigourney.
this one's for Francesco, everybody.
Prince. Francesco.
What was it? Chinkramani?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Francesco Cincramani.
Chinkramani.
Cinquamani.
I said Chinkramani. I thought it was the guy's name, okay? You can play the clip of me all you want. You can try to cancel me. There's so much of this. I hate this going after a guy for jokes he's making. And now, listen to what the shitway has said about me last night. I'm very mad. I want his YouTube channel taken down.
It's like, I went down to Chinatown and I was eulogizing him.
Look at these pussy boys. Makeup lies.
Like, instead of, like, Doom just took out the music because of copyright issues, but that's what it sounded like, vocally.
Yeah.
Like, it just completely gets drowned out the whole time.
Why? What is Kate Meany doing?
I think she has a lot of problems.
Gotcha.
You know?
Gotcha. Yeah.
I say to each their own. I would ask more, what is John doing being a 60-year-old man out doing blow and fucking a 25-year-old that he was out at a strip club with and getting into fights with the bouncers. But again, I'm not going to knock the guy for banging a young Kate Meany. Good for him, I guess. You know, I remember, Craig, I don't know if you remember this.
Mm-hmm.
I was almost brought to federal court.
Yes, I do.
I was almost dragged in handcuffs by the FBI because I played a tape of John talking to Kate Meany. Now, the tape I found was on Twitter, so I didn't really think there was a problem with it, but I was told I was breaking federal law.
Yep.
And part of the reason John was so concerned about this was Kate Meany has a lot of problems. She's a drug-addled young girl.
Right.
And I tried to reach out to a mother to tell her that. So this is a girl with a lot of problems. John saw himself as a father figure. I think to then give that girl coke and fuck her probably is a moral gray area. But again, I say good for John for getting his dick wet, you know? Who am I to shame?
Listen, Mike, it's the first time I haven't paid for it in 5 years.
The Cuban girl and the Vietnamese girl, I was lying about them, all right? I can admit it now. Oh, this is more of that. So we get the point, I think. It's more of him just completely getting drowned out by the music. But it was beautiful, and I thought Dooms did such an artistic job of noting it, because you would listen to that and think, oh, fuck, this isn't a great clip because John's voice gets drowned out by the technology that got rid of the music. And I'm here to tell you I heard it live. Mm-hmm. It was exactly that beautiful, where you just can't hear John for half the song.
He's also not taking super chats under $4.99 anymore.
Oh, yes, I've heard that. Yeah.
Yeah.
He slips up every once in a while, but
when he has a guest on and then someone super chats 99 cents worth of insults.
Yes, that's actually right. Yeah, when someone insults Rob Saul, when Penis Wrinkle makes fun of Rob Saul, for some reason John always reads that.
Worlds colliding now.
Yeah, this is what really caught my eye from that same show. Is I think John forgets he did this. He did this like 2 months ago, where he played a clip of Aaron and was like, "I never really talk about this guy, but he made fun of me mildly for 1 second, so I gotta talk about him." So then John discovered this clip of Aaron Imholte that we played like a month and a half ago. It's an old clip. It's from Thanksgiving, I think, or before. So John discovers it, thinks it's today, and also thinks he's talking about Aaron. So let's hear John attack Aaron, and then we're going to hear an interesting switch in John's tone. It's very subtle, but I'm going to see if you guys can mark when and why it happens. Craig, you can play along. See if you can mark when John's mood changes about Aaron. But let's first hear him very angry about Aaron making fun of him.
But apparently he believes that, I can't believe I'm saying this fucking name, Stuttering John.
You know, Steel Toe, let me tell you something. You can't believe you're saying my name.
Aaron hasn't said anything yet.
No, nothing.
You don't know why Aaron doesn't want to say that name, nothing. But immediately John launches into, listen here, you fucking piece of shit. You said kind of one thing about me, and now I'm going to go into every detail of your life.
What the fuck have you ever done besides get arrested or having your wife get arrested? You fucking loser.
John's making some
And
fair points.
you're afraid to say my name, a man who's done more in this business than you ever have? You fucking loser. You fucking pathetic freak.
All these people who still fuck with Stuttering John, you kind of get what you deserve.
Now, hold on. Listen closely. Aaron's sort of defending John.
Yes.
John doesn't quite hear it yet. So let's hear how he handles this.
And you go, John's crazy. John's a piece of shit. John's unreasonable. John blocks your shit. John bans you and blah, blah, blah. You know he does all this stuff. And then you keep fucking with him.
First of all, I don't do all that stuff. Where's the proof, dickhead?
It's just the dozens of times you've done it, but and the dozens of times you've bragged about doing it to different people. That would be some of the proof, but
Proof while you were banging your friend's wife and children weren't being fed. Where's
I always love this about John when he stumbles upon something and he's like, he did it to me where he's like, oh yeah, Mike Geary. Geary. It's like my name is in my Instagram handle. Like it's the patrons are called Gearheads. Everyone knows my last name. If you know who I am, you probably know my last name.
It's not Gearheads because you're not giving away trugs.
No, I should though. I should start that.
Yeah.
But like John thinks he's found where he's like, oh, well, look at the dirt I have on you, Aaron. You were fucking another man's wife, and him yours. Hmm? Like, yeah, no, that's like 8 months ago, John. We all know that.
Right.
Didn't you get revenge porn? Isn't there something going on with you and revenge porn?
John never fully knows either. He's gonna shout it at Aaron and use it against him, but he never quite knows what the accusations are.
In John's defense, he was asking like a question. He wasn't saying it was a fact.
Isn't there something with you and revenge porn? And that's John like covering his ass legally.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know what it is, but it's something.
Something or other.
Were you arrested? Let me see.
Let me see.
Aaron Imholte arraigned on.
How did he get that quickly?
Because he knew beforehand.
I've seen him type before. How did he get that so quick?
Yeah, the one-handed like.
Yes, you've actually encapsulated just how like loud it is too. I don't know how he does that, but
yeah.
Charges. Now, good job, dickhead. Good job, dickhead. And you have the fucking balls to comment on me?
hold on, Jay, it doesn't take, but he can comment on anyone. I've seen parts of Aaron's show. He comments on Donald Trump, John. He comments on the president. You know, he can comment on whoever he wants. It's not, you're taking the wrong issue with this.
$5,000 bond, you fucking loser. And you're going to comment on me?
I don't really understand why that makes him more or less of a loser, having a bond.
It makes him kind of badass, you ask me.
That's what I'm saying. Sending nude pics, and he's on the run from the man for it, you know?
Next we have grift.
Okay, so let's hear but guys, I don't know if you know about the hit song Grift Away, but this comes from that.
I wish people would just admit, if they talk about John, they don't have to come up with real content, because people who don't like John are mentally ill and they'll just go, money, here, take my money.
Well, that's what I just said.
Hold on.
There it is.
I want to get back to these two idiots arguing with each other. But first, I want to talk about this point that Aaron makes. It's hilarious that he's going to talk about anyone's angle to make money. That's great.
Yeah.
But what I want to say is, like, Aaron's going to have the defense of, like, well, you know what? Let him keep talking because he'll get to it. But I like that John is like, that's what I just said, dickhead.
Like
Aaron said this a month ago, John. You're not talking to him. He's not interrupting you to say these things. You're pushing play.
Thing about dickhead. It's called Grift Away.
Haven't you heard my number one?
It's easier than putting a show together and trying to draw a crowd. Instead, you can just steal from a crowd that already exists and do it that way.
Finally, you said something smart.
Oh, John's coming around.
Oh, he's been on my side this whole time.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. He's not insulting me. He's insulting the other people. Now I think this guy is a genius. It's amazing the delicate thread that how smart John thinks you are dangles by.
And do it that way.
Finally, you said something smart. I can't believe it. Somebody pinched me. Am I dreaming? I don't know. Am I? I don't know.
More great improv by John, but it is nice. This guy he's never talked about. He's like, I never talk about this Aaron Imholte. Now he's like, I can't believe he's saying something smart. You didn't know who he was 30 seconds ago, John, remember?
Am I dreaming?
What's next?
Defamatory.
Oh, so now John immediately jumps to lawsuits. He just found out who this guy is, and he's going to jump to litigation with Aaron Imholte.
Chad got another Patreon, or he didn't get another Patreon. He had another Patreon. He'd had it for 5 years and it was still up. And now he believes that John got that Patreon taken down as well. This was a tweet from this morning.
He doesn't believe it, you idiot. He's using this. Are you that fucking stupid?
John, you're not talking to him. This was also the day it happened. You can't argue with Aaron from the past about how much he knew at the time. It was a month ago. This is not. This is like if I played footage from 9/11, and I was like,
Doc,
guys, we now know. So why are they acting like they don't know who's behind this? This is crazy.
Do it. I don't. What I would admit it if I did it. I'd be happy to say I did it.
Oh,
I mean, after all, he was trashing my kid.
Oh,
But I didn't.
All right, so you didn't do it. That's good.
And that's a fact, Jack. And you're an idiot.
That Chad had his original Patreon. John did get that taken down. John or the legend or whoever.
All right. Now that's defamatory. That is defamatory.
No, it certainly isn't. If you walk into a courtroom and say, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I'd like to show you this clip. And it's Aaron Imholte saying, the legend or John or whoever got Chad's Patreon taken down. I'm no lawyer. You have no legal leg to stand on.
No.
He literally said, or whoever. And John's like, well, you've just opened yourself up to a lawsuit, pal.
Said that I got his Patreon taken down. Maybe I should sue him, huh, Vince? Because I didn't.
Vince is just going to go, yeah, this is more money for me.
I didn't. I will testify in a court of law with my hand on the Bible. I did not get Chad's Patreon taken down. Okay. I did not report it. I did not strike it, nor did any of my friends.
You know what, John? I believe you. I'm here to say I believe. He sounds very passionate. I don't know how he would know none of his friends did it. I don't know why you would swear under oath about that. But I believe John didn't do it. I'm willing to say that. So let's see if he does anything to convince me otherwise.
They took down the second one because it would be ban evasion, right? Because he still has a Patreon up after he got another one banned. Or maybe Patreon doesn't work that way. If he got it taken down because of terms of service, that fucking sucks. That's horrible. I'm against that.
Really, Steel Toe. So let me get this straight for a second, you fucking asshole. If Baby Fatso started attacking your children.
Oh, whoa, John.
Easy, John.
Let me slow you down here. I thought you just said you didn't do it. Now, John, who swore on a Bible. John swore on everything that is holy that he did not do this. And now he's explaining the exact reason why he would have done it. This is like OJ's book.
About them. You'd be okay with it, right? You're such a fucking idiot. It's fucking disturbing how stupid you are.
Well, John, you said you were okay with it because you didn't do it. Remember? You were like, I absolutely didn't do it. And John's like, I never would do that. It's like, why would I do something like that?
You would do that.
Aaron's like, it's terrible that he did this. And John's like, Oh, really? It's terrible. Really? I'm gonna get defensive about this, even though I didn't do it. You don't. If someone was talking about your kids, you wouldn't strike their Patreon. Again, I didn't do it, but like I could have struck his Patreon and been totally in the right because that's something I should do, even though I didn't do it.
I just, fortunately or unfortunately, put together that Stuttering John's basically got the Florentine method. Really?
That's what you do. But you're right. That is every episode where like he plays a clip of the shitweigher or Lady K, in this case Aaron, Pinky, whoever he's talking about. He plays a clip of them and he just goes, "Really? Really, shitweigher? Really? Oh, really?" And then he starts typing something and that takes 10 minutes. And it'll go, "Really, shitweigher?" Just madness.
I bet you didn't go to college. I mean, you're obviously an idiot.
You can go to NYU.
I don't
By
think
the way, I think Aaron did go to college, and that doesn't make him smart.
No.
You know what I mean? And if he didn't go to college, it doesn't make him dumb. That's such childish logic.
that to people. I think, you get to say what you want on your show. The other guy gets to say what he wants on his show. Ah, ha, 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 ha. And then you turn off your fucking computer, you go outside and you live your fucking life, which Chad has done an amazing job of because he used to not do that. He used to live on the
Bull
internet.
washing alert! Bull washing alert!
John's actually kind of right.
Yeah.
He's only. I'll tell you this. I don't like the thing of like, if you agree with someone, it's like, oh, I guess you are washing his nutsack. I guess you're taking out the sponge and the soap, and you're going to town on scrubbing those nuts by agreeing with another person with an opinion.
You cum gargler.
Yeah. You're drinking his jizz because you agree with it. Where John is right. He stumbled into being right because Chad went out of his way to like try to ruin Aaron's life.
Oh, yeah.
And won. Yeah. The whole time I was like, boy, what a bad guy Chad is for saying Aaron's wife's going to leave him and she's addicted to coke and all this stuff. It turns out Chad was right. So that's where it's weird that Aaron, by saying that Chad is right, he's really going, Chad, will you stop making fun of me, please? Chad, I complimented TM Zumak. Didn't you hear me say how great it is? So John has stumbled into a good point, but
Bull washing alert. Unbelievable. Let's wash some bowls, shall we?
we heard you. We got it.
Shall we?
He's typing.
Holy
We
fuck.
shall and we did. Now move on.
Any lower? What a fucking ball washer.
Yeah, we heard you.
Fucking hell.
Even when John is correct, he's wrong.
Yeah.
Even when John is nailing the point.
Yeah.
None of these people stand for anything. I'm the only one that actually stands for something.
That's a very important quote. As we will see in our final clip here. Remember that John says he's the only one that stands for something. And he's calling Aaron a ball washer and a fucking idiot who didn't go to college and a loser who gets arrested and some other guy's fucking his wife. He's all those things.
I do want to say before I take this clip off screen,
Please.
right as it ended, someone super chatted $5 and said to John, not us, says your head looks like a wad of wet spoiled beef someone dropped in a pile of cat hair.
Oh, yes, I did. He reads that moments later.
It's very funny.
But remember John said, I'm the only one here that stands for something. Just keep that in mind as we go forward, because I may veer off in different directions. But I always want you to go back to that central point. John stands for something.
Tape, I'd fall to the ground, smash into a million pieces. It would look like the Hindenburg.
Oh, this idiot again. Here, let me just.
So John like drifts away. John, he literally drifted away. I didn't realize what I did there. John drifted away for a while and started talking about other things. He sings that Uncle Kracker song, I'm not joking, 4 more times.
Jesus.
All the way through, and he plays the music and everything. And he compliments himself on how great the song is. It's very strange. And then he finds another clip of Aaron. And he's like, oh, this idiot again, even though he's the one playing the clips. But it's another clip from a month ago. So I don't know how he found it again and thinks it's new, but here we go.
Such a douche.
Tape, I'd fall to the ground, smash into a million pieces. It would look like the Hindenburg. I think he would admit that. But I think a lot of these guys with the John stuff, I don't think they'd be able to admit that they can't stop talking about John, because if they did, they'd lose money, they'd lose viewers, and nobody would care because, quite frankly, they grabbed onto a weird guy's coattails and it made them lots of money. They didn't get there on their own.
Listen to John go, yep, absolutely, Aaron. All you have to do is make John realize you're complimenting him, and suddenly you're a good guy and actually pretty smart.
He's like, yep. And then he said, weird guy's coattails. He's like, fuck this guy.
Hold on, where's this going?
Weird dickhead. If anybody's weird, it's you.
Here we go. We're back.
Wife and that fucking Nick Ricada and his
no.
wife.
I thought he didn't know much about this.
Oh no, we're back to hating Aaron again. He was Aaron touched glory for such a brief moment.
Fucking banging and doing coke while the kids are out doing fucking.
The kids were doing something of that, I'm sure.
They were probably drinking Kool-Aids or something.
I'm not the weirdo, Steel Toe. You are.
Listen, John is a 60-year-old man. 59, excuse me.
How dare you?
The word weirdo triggered him.
Yes, it did.
I'm not a weirdo. You are.
That was big.
I don't think I've ever yelled that at someone in my life. If I did, I was 9 or younger. I'm not a weirdo. You are. Wow, John. Very powerful stuff.
Just arraigned for fucking revenge porn.
They couldn't make a good show. They just watched a train wreck for 4 years. I would have so much respect for the first person who
Aaron, of course, passive-aggressively talking about Carl and Shuley.
Yes.
Honesty and would say it. Funeral director with $2 says,
Can I say something about this point that Aaron makes, too? It's something John says all the time, like, oh, you're just watching this guy. No matter who it was, if you presented someone to me, and like John will say, like, oh, they're jealous because I'm famous. I think Aaron says something similar later, where he's like, they're jealous of this guy because John's the only one that's accomplished something. And I got to tell you, there's an element of truth to that in this sense. The fact that John was on the Howard Stern show, if you just showed me a homeless man and was like, hey, every day this guy yells at passersby, he calls one of them the shitwayer for some reason, and he's yelling about how much better he is than all of them. This is just a guy on the train. I'd be like, okay, maybe we'd play a clip of it on WATS once. I'd move on pretty quickly. What is interesting to me is this is a guy who's accomplished something. He was on the Howard Stern show, on the Tonight Show, and now he's doing this. And to me, that's interesting. And yes, the success does add to that. Like, pick a living president. Jimmy Carter, Clinton, Bush, Obama, Trump, Biden. I don't want to make it political, so choose whoever you want.
I do like you said living president, and the first one you said was Carter.
Well, he's hanging on. For dear life. It would be much more interesting if Jimmy Carter was doing this.
Yes, that would be awesome.
But if one of them was doing that every day, yes, I would talk about it. Not because I'm jealous, but because I find it fascinating that George Bush is turning on his laptop every day and going, look at this guy. Look at this fucking asshole saying, oh yeah, really, shithead. I didn't know there were WMDs in Iraq. I fucked that up. Okay, yeah, fine. You try becoming president, having 9/11 happen, and then try to you got all these fucking assholes on Twitter. 9/11's an inside job. Bullshit. Yes, that would be interesting to me. I'm sorry, Aaron. If I don't talk about John next week, I don't make more or less money. That's what's weird to me, is the idea. I get that, like, John's the focus of Shuley's show. So passive-aggressively, when people say this vague, these guys would make less money, they're talking about Shuley, obviously. Mm-hmm. Because my income is not tied to whether or not I talk about Stuttering John. We've taken weeks off of it. I haven't noticed it. No one mentions it. No one's like, fuck you, Mike, for not talking about him.
There's been proclamations made that we'll never speak of him, you know?
Yeah, I lie about whether or not I'm going to talk about him, and no one really gives a shit. So it's not that big a deal. What's funny to me is the depth of the well, that every day John embarrasses himself. And like, yes, if a successful person would do Monica Lewinsky, well, listen, I showed her a good time. I said I'd never fuck anyone younger than my daughter, but I'm giving you people content. They're still making Monica Lewinsky. Don't you get that, you people? Oh, it's a cesspool of ridiculousness. These people talking about they Monica Lewinsky. They always bring that up. They never talk about the deficit I left with, and that's fucking shameful. These people.
I turned the pussy into a humidor. Someone be that creative.
They never bring that up. My wife is successful. They never say I'm a champion of women. They talk about this Monica Lewinsky horse shit.
Imagine if Stuttering John had Clinton power and he just killed everyone that made fun of him.
Vince Foster. I didn't even know Vince Foster. I don't know that guy. And they show pictures of John with Vince Foster. I said I met him the one time. It's not a big deal.
Funeral director with $2 says, do you think Shuley's show should admit he needs John? Of course he should. And, Shuley, if he's being honest, would say he needs John.
Oh, the dude's payer. The drone strikes. I legalized gay marriage. I'm the first black president. And they want to talk about these fucking drone strikes. Okay, I bombed a wedding. Big fucking deal. You tell me you wouldn't talk about that, Aaron? Come on.
I think that's fair because we have documented evidence, much like Melton and I. We have documented evidence before steel toe and after steel toe. You're welcome. I own you guys. I think Shuley has the same thing.
I got this fucking dues payer saying, yeah, okay, fine. I said grab him by the pussy. She was illegally recording me. and I was quoting Fast Times at Ridgemont High. What don't you get about that? You can't say grab him by the pussy anymore. These rules keep changing.
And after John, it is not comparable. They need John. Carl, same thing.
No.
Needs John.
Yep.
Hold on. We're about to hear Aaron's buddy again. Carl does talk about other things on his show. I think some people get annoyed how much he talks about Stuttering John.
Yeah.
Because the podcast wasn't always that, I think that's why he saves it for the end of the show, for the people that want to hear the other shit.
Right.
So that's where I don't get. It's interesting to me that Aaron would say that about Carl now. I'm sure he'd say it about my show if he knew who I was, which he definitely doesn't. I think he says this now because we make fun of Aaron, which is interesting that when he was trying to get on WATP and he did that Tampa Accord bit with them and he was having Carl on his show. It was interesting that all throughout that time, it wasn't pathetic that Carl had been talking about John for 4 years. It was just that when it hits 6 years, then it's pathetic.
You don't think these guys want to do this, do you? I hope they don't want to.
Hold on. I'll speak for myself. I do. What do you think? I'm fucking chained to a radiator in here? Till you talk about Stuttering John until you make your nut this month. I find it interesting to me for the reason I just laid out. If a famous person was doing this every day, I would find that interesting. It's interesting to me that John had the success he did. And again, when we say success, we're overblowing it a little. Let's be real here.
Isaiah Thomas didn't deserve a spot on the dream team. Michael Jordan.
Scottie Pippen was a rat. I never liked him. My son's banging his wife now.
I'm going to go play baseball for a bit. Fuck this.
I swear, end of the season, I'm leaving. I'm going to the White Sox. I came back. I thought you guys would. I changed my number to 45. I thought you guys would treat me with a little more respect. And it's all the same horse shit. It's the same nefarious nonsense every day with you people.
Republicans buy shoes too.
And you keep bringing up my gambling debts. And my father, it was a random murder. I don't know what is so mysterious about it. I left because the newspaper was sending people to my house. And it had nothing to do with my father dying. And that's the brilliance of your Annis. That's the brilliance of number 23.
Fuck this. I'm going to the Wizards.
That's what these people don't understand. I made 90s basketball. If it wasn't for me, who are you going to have? Patrick Ewing? You're going to have Karl Malone? These people are nothing compared to me. Like, that would be fascinating. If Michael Jordan was doing that yesterday, would you call that jealousy? No, it's a man having a meltdown.
Tony Kukoc definitely eats Fruit Loops.
About Stuttering John multiple times a week nonstop for 4 years. I hope your answer would be no.
I do too.
But there's nothing wrong with admitting
This guy's making a lot of sense.
him. He's your bread and butter. You have to have him. You can't stop talking about him. Just do that. I don't like this false macho pro wrestling bravado. That's like, we don't need Joe. We just like it because we look down on him. And
I gotta be real honest. Who is the success story that Aaron is talking about?
I don't know.
That has massive, like, if you want to get in the algorithm,
Nick Mullins soon.
yeah, right. You know who you would get a lot of views by talking about is a Mr. Beast review show. Or if you talk about Donald Trump or Joe Rogan, like, I gotta tell you, there are a lot bigger names that if you were just doing something you hated to get into the algorithm, like if we did a Joe Rogan recap show, we would have way more views than covering Stuttering John.
Yeah.
It's just not something I'm interested in doing all the time. Whereas with Stuttering John, there are constantly clips that I'm like, fuck, that's interesting. I want to talk about that this week.
No, you look up at him. He's accomplished more in his career than any of us have.
True.
And that stinks for a lot of these people.
Suddenly this guy ain't so dumb. I mean, he won 6 championships with the Bulls.
I was going to say Gatorade's going to come out with a "we want to be like John" commercial.
And I would have won 8. I gave 2 to the Rockets. You're welcome, Rockets. You're welcome, Elijah.
So what? I couldn't beat Larry Bird in the playoffs.
He's the only reason you generate viewership and income.
Thank you. Still telling
Now,
me
I can say that because
They never talk about, I scored 60 points. I was sick. I didn't have to show up that day.
But you need to be able to admit it. Now, again, Chad, I don't think Chad has that problem. I think
No, Chad's really cool. It's so interesting. Aaron's like, you know what? You know what I think is really awesome is Chad. Now, listen, all these people, they say stuff for views and to make their life easier. They're all hypocrites. You know what I really like is Chad Zumach. I think he does a terrific job.
I don't admit, I agree with him here.
Okay, hold on a second. Let's go back. Remember I said we might drift away, which we did. I told you guys to remember something. Let's give you a pop quiz in the chat. What did I tell you to remember, gang?
When?
John stands for something. John's the only one of us with a bit of moral fiber that he can stand on. Now let's hear, once Aaron agrees with John, and once it gets through John's dense skull that he's agreeing with him, let's hear what John has to say.
that because that's not the case with me. But you need to be able to admit it. Now, again, Chad, I don't think Chad has that problem. I think Chad.
Well, I got to admit, I agree with him here. Hey, look, you want to come on the show? I'll gladly talk to you.
Aaron, you want to be best friends?
Buy my Air Melendez shoes.
You, I know you got the Coke thing, but you still drinking? You can come over. I got Michelob's in the fridge. I mean, you should probably bring your own if you want to. But, you know, if I'm ever in Minnesota, I'll take care of your cats for you.
Go to blindmike.net for everything Blind Mike. Look at me. I did it. Krager's did it.